2:37 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in! CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lai, oh everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the net. Leaky with a big steal. Leaky for three.
Mabuhay kapamilya! We are glad to have you with us as this is your ABS-CBN Sports and Virtual Playgrounds ASEAN Basketball League in its 10th season. This is our rise to greatness as we are coming to you live from the Santa Rosa Sports Complex in Laguna for your Sunday ABL. And there you see the very historic place for Philippine basketball. The crowd once again ready to support San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. This is their first home game of the season, and today they will be facing the Singapore Slingers, who will be playing for the very first time in the 10th season of the ABL. San Miguel currently at 1-1, looking for back-to-back wins after their previous victory against the Macau Wolf Warriors. We thank everyone for joining us live on ABS-CBN SNA, also on I1 Sports. Magandang gabi po sa inyo Pilipinas, ang aming mga minamahal na kababayan. Mix Gomez at your service, and for tonight, we will be joined by the one and the only Coach Marco Benitez. And then later on, we also have our courtside reporter Sydney Crespo for her latest news updates and interviews regarding both of our squads. Now Marco, let's break it down. The team standings currently, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas at 1-1, Singapore, no games yet.
That's right, Mix. First of all, great to be here. As you mentioned, only the third game for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, looking to get on a win streak, while Singapore Slingers, a storied franchise here in the ABL, looking to start their season on a positive note after finishing as a runner-up finish in last season.
And this is a delight for the Filipinos watching basketball in the country, because not only will Alab Pilipinas host tonight, but on Tuesday as well, Alab Pilipinas will be playing at the Phil Oil Flying Beast Center in San Juan, once again going up against the Mono Vampire after their first game in this season. After that, they will have the Formosa Dreamers, the Macau Wolf Warriors once again, and then the Fubon Braves with OJ Mayo, by the way, who's playing for that squad, and then the Singapore Slingers. That time around, January 12, Alab Pilipinas will be going to Singapore. And now let's talk about the Slingers, their next 5 games after tonight. In their first game in Santa Rosa, as of course Xavier Alexander and Marcus Elliott look forward to their great season. Macau Wolf Warriors is next up for them, and then Fubon, Formosa, Saigon, and then once again San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
Well, of course, Singapore Slingers, as you mentioned, losing in the finals last season against the CLS Knights. Looking to start out in this season very strong. As you see there on your screens, Marcus Elliott, former World Import MVP, has been the arch nemesis of Xavier Alexander, now finding themselves in the same squad. They're going to be a power-packed lineup here together with Anthony McLean and the rest of the locals of the Singapore Slingers. So I'm very excited to see what they have to show here in Season 10 of the ABL.
Well, of course, we have to expect it's going to be tough competition with 2 former MVPs here in the ASEAN Basketball League going up against Alab Pilipinas. Exciting times coming for the ABL. Now let's give you our arena announcer, Top Juliano.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Santa Rosa Multipurpose Complex in Santa Rosa, Laguna for the season home opener of our very own San Miguel Alab Pilipinas in the season of the ASEAN Basketball League. As tonight, they take on the visiting Singapore Slingers. And now let's call out the teams. First, the visiting Singapore Slingers. Number 2, Desmond O. Number 6, Tay Ding Lu. Number 7, Marcus Elliott. Number 9, Chong Lo. Number 10, Leon Quick. Number 13, Lim Junwon. Number 21, Anthony DeClain. Number 15, Xavier Alexander. Number 23, Delvin Go. Number 25, Lavine Raj. And number 57, Ong Chi-yi. The head coach for the Singapore Slingers is Nyo Beng Chong. His assistant is Michael Johnson. Once again, the visiting Singapore Slingers.
And now, Santa Rosa, make way for your San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. And 6'4" guard number 1, Khalif Waya. Standing 6'5", a forward, number 2, Sharon Maya Gray. A 6'4", power forward, number 3, Lodomingo. A 6-foot flat guard, number 5, Jason Blackman. A 6'7" center, number 13, Shadi Rahel. A 6'3" guard, number 15, Jordan Heavy. A 6'4" forward, number 18, Louis Mitchell. And at number 21, standing 7'5", let's welcome Sandy Guerra. Number 24, a 6'7" forward, Brandon Ganuelas Rosser. A 6'3" forward, number 27, double A, Aaron Allen. Red jersey number 30, a 6-foot guard, Andre Kamaka. And last but not the least, wearing jersey number 55, a 6'7" guard, welcome His Majesty Nick King! The head coach for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas is Miguel Alab. His assistants are Mac Kuala, Eric Beck, and MC Abolosu. Once again, palakpakan natin ang San Miguel Alab Pilipinas! And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, please all rise as we call on Miss Althea Pinson to lead us in the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
Bayang magiliw, pelas na silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig. Di ka pasisiil sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo bughaw. May dilagang tula at awit sa pagnayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng wataw at mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niyang kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng luwal, hatid pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya ng pag may mga api ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
For teams may proceed to center court for the pregame match game.
All right, once again, we are coming to you live from the Santa Rosa Sports Complex in Laguna for your ABL Sunday. This is Alab Pilipinas versus the Singapore Slingers, the first game of Singapore in this season. And Alab Pilipinas, this is game number 3. Let's talk about the previous game first against the Macau Wolf Warriors. And what a game that was, Marco. It went into overtime. A lot of breaks as well. We could have won. We could have lost as well in regulation.
That's right, Mix. And this was coming off a 35-point loss to the Mono Vampire squad in their opening of Season 10. As you mentioned, they were down by 14 points in the fourth quarter. Khalif Wyatt finished with 17 of his 24 points in the fourth quarter and overtime combined. And he was one of the stars in that ball game. Of course, Jordan Heading also with 27 points was 6 out of 10 from the three-point land. And he and Khalif Wyatt combining for 12 of the 17 triples of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas in that ball game. And they really dictated the tempo. Finished with 35 assists compared to just 28 from the Macau Wolf Warriors. 21 fast break points for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. That's a good sign for them. Good, strong bounce back for them.
All right, now we're taking a look at the Singapore Slingers. The profile of their players. Of course, they have some key holdovers. Xavier Alexander, Delvin Go, Larry Liu, and Desmond O. Departures, we have 2 imports leaving them, Jaron Young and John Fields.
Jaron Young now with the Formosa Dreamers, Larry Liu, Desmond O. Apparently, well, just for information, has been one of the original Singapore Slingers since season 2. Big addition for them, Marcus Elliott, former World Import MVP, together with Xavier Alexander, 2 of the top 10 players in ABL history. So this is something that is going to be very interesting and very exciting to watch. And he will definitely relieve Xavier Alexander of a lot of the point guard duties, which Xavier Alexander had to cope up with in last season.
Marcus Elliott is basically the replacement of Jaron Young. That guy, Marcus Elliott, averaged 23, 7, and 5 in the previous season. Looking good here for the opposing team. Let's talk about Jordan Heading. You mentioned the 6 3-point shots that he had. The lefty Filipino-Australian had himself a breakout game in the previous match against the Macau Wolf Warriors. Marco, your expectations, your thoughts about him early in the season?
Well, he had 12 points against Mono Vampire, was one of their bright spots and really shone in that game against the Macau Wolf Warriors. So look for Coach Jimmy Alapag to continue looking for Jordan Heading, 27.3 rebounds, 2 assists in that game, and expect Singapore with their premium on defense to really focus on or have a man at least closing out on Jordan Heading. So we're going to see how versatile Jordan Heading is, if he can hurt Singapore from the outside as well as from the inside. But he's going to be a marked man here for Coach Neo Beng Shan.
Jordan Heading came off the bench in their first game, started in their second match. Let's see if Coach Jimmy Alapag will opt to start him in their game today against the Singapore Slingers. Let's take a look at the starting 5s for both squads, so we would be able to assess. First off, for Singapore, we have Leon Kwek alongside Marcus Elliott, Anthony McLean, Delvin Go, the usual starter for Singapore as we know, and Xavier Alexander.
Now, this is a big lineup here for the Singapore Slingers. McLean is 7 feet, Marcus Elliott is about 6'4", Xavier X-Man is at about 6'7", Leon Kwek about 6'3", while Devin Go is close to 6'8". So this is going to be a big experienced lineup here for Coach Neo Beng Shan. While for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, of course, you have Jason Brickman, the floor general, and then talk about big, Sam DeGuara, probably the biggest guy we have in the ABL this season at 7'5". You have Nick King as well, Khalif Wyatt, and Jordan Heading closing out the 5 for Coach Jimmy Alapag.
There you see him, Jordan Heading starting things off once again for Alab Pilipinas. We have seen Nick King and Jason Brickman start in their first 2 games. And of course, as we know, there's no more Adrian Forbes. For Alab Pilipinas, he will be replaced by Sam DeGuara. And you mentioned his height, Marco. He is actually the tallest man in Italy and Malta.
Well, he's very familiar here with ABL action. Brought Mono Vampire to the finals together with Jason Brickman and Mike Singletary a couple of seasons ago. Played 24 games with Hong Kong Eastern last season before he was replaced by Michael Holyfield. So it's good to see him actually in a San Miguel Alab Pilipinas jersey.
And certainly the crowd wasn't all when they saw him here in Santa Rosa. They were surprised. Who's this guy? He's so tall. I can't even guess what's the size of the shoe that he's wearing.
I think it's about at least size 15.
15. I was about to guess 20. All right, so once again, we thank everyone for joining us live on SNA and I1 Sports. This is Mix Gomez alongside Marco Benitez at your service. Later on, we will be having Sydney Crespo, our courtside reporter. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas set to square off against the Singapore Slingers in their first home game of the season.
I think what's going to be interesting, Mix, is especially for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas that likes to run, as we've seen in the past couple of games, how Sam DeGuara will fit into their game plan. As we know, he's a little bit slower than most ABL players. So if they're going to look for him in the post, that might slow down the pace for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. But early on, Khalif Wyatt picking up Xavier Alexander while picking up Marcus Elliott.
Here comes Marcus Elliott going inside Anthony McLean. What a great matchup. McLean versus DeGuara. There's a 3-second violation against Singapore.
That's a couple of 7-footers going at it.
And suddenly, Big Sam doesn't look so tall beside Anthony McLean.
Well, I think McLean has the heft advantage while DeGuara has the length.
Here's Khalif Wyatt looking for DeGuara. Big Sam. And he's hearing it from the crowd, turning around. Does not get it to go. Xavier Alexander now bringing down that basketball. Kick out. There's a corner 3-point shot. A miss for the Slingers. Oh, sorry, this is Alab Pilipinas running and the jam for Nick King.
Oh, this is what San Miguel Alab Pilipinas will look to do. Push the ball, up-tempo, score in transition. Of course, Jason Brickman, one of the best, if not the best, in finding open teammates.
Jason Brickman, we could say that he's arguably walking double-double here in the ABL. Oh, Delvin. That guy, Delvin Go, has been one of the loyal people of the Singapore Slingers, a reliable power forward.
And he has improved every season here for Coach Neo Beng Shan. Definitely one of their go-to big men now here in Season 10.
Brickman looking for a teammate. Cross court onto Wyatt. What a fake. Khalif Wyatt. That's a miss. Here come the Slingers. Bounce pass. Delvin once again. And there's that rejection from Big Sam. Good anticipation by Delvin Go. Some contact as Nick King was able to get the physicality.
And Nick King telling his teammates that nobody called out his name as Delvin Go was looking to swipe or swiped from behind.
First team foul for Singapore. 2-all our score. Here comes Jason Brickman. Two-man game. Brickman, what a pass on to Big Sam Deguara. Easy two.
This is a difficult matchup here for Leon Kwek. Jason Brickman has the quickness advantage. Easily penetrating the defense, finding the open Sam Deguara.
Jason Brickman in double digits in assists in the previous match. Alexander slicing through, will miss. An easy rebound for Deguara. Steal, back and forth we go. Alexander serving, Delvin. Go will kick out. Marcus Elliott, open look. And there's a foul inside.
Now, this is the versatility of Singapore Slingers. Either Marcus Elliott or Xavier Alexander can push the ball and lead the fast break as we saw on that sequence.
Here we are with the first stoppage. Let's go to Cindy Crespo with the report.
It's a brand new season of the ABL and a brand new team for Alab Pilipinas with only 2 returnees coming from the previous season. And so ABL veteran and Alab Pilipinas veteran Lawrence Domingo says the main challenge for them is finding their identity. It's a much younger team with lesser experience, and so they are still a work in progress coming into ABL Season 10. Alab head coach Jimmy Alapag sees this as an opportunity rather than a setback, and he says he's happy with the group of guys that he has now. It's their depth and versatility that would help them in their mission this year, and Lawrence emphasized it's their unfinished business that motivates him tonight and to get back on track with this brand new squad. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sydney, and to your point, a lot of changes in the roster of Alab Pilipinas. Of course, Bobby Ray Parks, Ronaldo Volkman, PJ Ramos, all gone in this team.
Actually, just 2 holdovers in Brandon Rosser and Lawrence Domingo. So, again, chemistry is going to be an issue early on here in the season.
Marcus Elliott on fire. That's a miss for him. Rebounded by King.
Back-to-back misses for the former World Import MVP.
Nick King, kick out. Jordan heading. Driving down the middle, using the right hand. Too strong. What a battle inside between Deguara and McLean.
You look at the length of the Singapore Slingers. Very difficult to penetrate against that defense. As we know, Coach Neo Beng Shan has always put a premium on defense.
Coach Neo, of course, the 2016 Coach of the Year. Later on, you get to see him on camera. And there's a foul. That's going to be against Alab Pilipinas.
That's going to go against Big Sam Deguara. Illegal screen set for Nick King.
There's Coach Jimmy Alapag, the 4th season of Alab Pilipinas in the ABL. Coach Jimmy, the Mighty Mouse, he has had himself a great journey in the Pro League and of course in FIBA as well.
Well, early on already an ABL champion coach is Coach Jimmy Alapag, and is looking to rebuild his team by Sam Deguara already with his 2nd block of the ball game.
Here's Jordan Heading, had himself 6 3-point shots in the previous match. Also that guy, Khalif Wyatt, kick out. They go to Heading at the corner, good rejection. The Pilipinas still at it. 8 on the shot clock. Wyatt onto Brickman. Trying to go inside. He absorbs the contact.
You see how solid the defense of Singapore is in the interior. Marcus Elliott, Xavier Alexander, excellent post-up defenders.
Here comes Brickman, back at it again. It's defended by Leon Kwek. Brickman Bounces off his foot, no whistle, but he loses space.
2 turnovers already for Jason Brickman. Very uncharacteristic of this heady point guard.
Jason Brickman came from Long Island University, NCAA Division I experience for him. He led the nation in assists for 2 seasons.
Also an ABL champion in his own right with the Westport's Malaysia Dragons.
He was an import for Malaysia years back.
And that's on Sam DeGuara. That's 2 quick fouls for the big man.
Because of that, Coach Jimmy now calling up the number of Lawrence Domingo. So Alab Pilipinas will go smaller here. Of course, you can't get any taller if Sam DeGuara is going to the bench.
Well, this is a very athletic lineup here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Lawrence Domingo and Nick King. Of course, Lawrence Domingo, loves to crash the boards, loves to hang around under the basket, loves those reverse under the basket shots.
This is how they finished in their previous game against Macau, the Wolf Warriors, just before Jordan Heading fouled out.
Low scoring ball game so far here for either team.
That's a miss from McLean, rebounded by King. There's Jason Brickman. Brickman still has it. Onto King, swing it. Jordan Heading at the corner. And no bounce for him. Great look though.
Yeah, nice extra pass coming from Nick King. Hey, whenever you have Jason Brickman on the floor, you're guaranteed that he will look for an open teammate. As in that sequence, finding Nick King about 70 feet.
That opened things up for the night. Alab Pilipinas, Jordan Heading delivering from downtown this time around. 7-4 in favor of the home squad.
First triple of the ball game for Jordan Heading, 1 out of 2. Or 6 out of 10 in their game against Macau Wolf Warriors.
Almost a good save from Domingo. Here's Marcus Elliott onto Alexander to answer back, and he does.
That's a good sign there for Singapore Slingers. Lawrence Domingo looks like he has some blood on his hand.
That's the right hand of Lawrence as he crashed down to the floor, trying to save that basketball.
I think there's a gash or there's blood on his forehead.
That being said, we'll take a timeout first. Halfway through the first quarter, 7-all our score. We're back for your ABL action here in Santa Rosa as you take a look at some highlights early in the first quarter. Well, this is the Lawrence Domingo save. So there you go.
Yeah, that's where he hit his head on the floor.
Well, he had to go straight to the locker room, of course, to be attended by the trainer.
Hopefully it's nothing serious for Lawrence Domingo as he had just checked into the ball game, relieving the Sam DeGuara who had 2 early fouls in the first quarter.
And certainly he is one of the leaders of this team, a mainstay for Alab Pilipinas since the very beginning.
Yes, on his 4th season, if I'm not mistaken. Lawrence Domingo averaging 6 points, 8.5 rebounds this season.
This guy, Xavier Alexander, here comes the X-Man. Great averages, those numbers in the previous season.
Oh, he's the reigning world import MVP, 21 points per game, 8.9 rebounds, 8.0 assists, 1.9 steals. An undisputed leader of this Singapore Slingers squad. Will now be playing less of the point guard as Marcus Elliott has really taken up that role.
Alexander is matched up against Nick King. Here's Jordan Heading. Hit the 3-point shot a while ago from the left wing. Khalif Wyatt this time around at the corner.
Back-to-back triples for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, and this has been their main weapon the past couple of games. 2-3 zone right now for the white shirts.
Here's Marcus Elliott using that pick from Delvin Go. They go to the corner. Leon will swing it. Alexander now driving down the middle. 1-2. That short. McLean was there for the cleanup.
Without big Sam DeGuara in the pose, it's going to be easy pickings for Anthony McLean.
Down goes Ganuelas Rosser. And he took his time on the floor.
Looks like that's going to be a foul against Leon Quek.
This is the replay. Khalif Wyatt with that corner three, burning that basketball for Alab Pilipinas. Looking good here in the first quarter.
Yeah, you can definitely stroke it from the outside. It was 6 out of 10 as well in their last game against the Wolf Warriors.
Alab Pilipinas shot the ball very well from three in their previous match. McLean once again inside.
And again, uncontested offensive rebound for Anthony McLean. Easy putback.
There's that immediate impact from McLean ever since Sam DeGuara was subbed out. Ganuelas Rosser, there's that block. Slingers now with the lead in the basketball. Marcus Elliott.
Really giving San Miguel Alab Pilipinas a hard time penetrating into that lane because of their length.
Substitution here for Singapore. We have Jun Lim coming in for Leon Quek. This is the replay. Xavier Alexander misses on the first try, but Anthony McLean looking big right there. All of his height in the world.
Xavier Alexander, such a mismatch whenever he gets out in transition. That time forcing the help defense by Brandon Rosser, so nobody boxing out against Anthony McLean. Easy putback.
At the free throw line, Delvin Go, nicknamed the Wonder Kid. Did you know that he actually appeared in a movie?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Mix Gomez.
Meeting the Giant. That's the name of the movie in 2014. That's Delvin Go for you guys.
He is definitely matured into one of the stars here for Coach Leo Bing Shang. And, you know, this Singapore Slingers squad, maybe 2 or 3 seasons ago, was known as a slow down, very deliberate type of a team. But since last season, they've deliberately looked to push the pace every time. And Xavier Alexander has led them in their more faster-paced game.
Certainly a lot of success for this squad, reaching the finals of the ABL. Another timeout here, 13-10 our score. We have 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the first frame. 13-10 is the score in favor of Singapore. Let's talk about Marcus Elliott, one of the key additions from foe to friend for the Slingers.
Well, when these two teams met in the finals of the ABL back in 2016, these guys were arch rivals. But now they find themselves wearing the same Singapore red. And I'm sure Marcus Elliott, a welcome addition here for Xavier Alexander, averaging 22 points, 0.8 points per game, 7.6 rebounds, 5.3 assists. And, you know, more than that, Migs, is his outside shooting. Marcus Elliott, for his career, averaging in the mid-30s from long distance. So he gives Singapore that added range and opens up the floor for guys like Anthony McLean, Delvin Go, and even Xavier Alexander.
So no Jaren Young, no problem for Coach Neo Beng Siang.
Plus, of course, Marcus Elliott, a veteran of these ABL wars. He brings with him a lot of experience, a proven winner here in the ASEAN Basketball League.
2017 ABL Finals MVP. That's Marcus Elliott for the Singapore Slingers. Rosa will inbound to Jason Brickman. He's being defended by Jun Lim. Brickman using that pick, going right. Right-handed layup is good.
Jason Brickman's so good at using that top ball screen. Just gets a little bit of separation finishing. He can finish with either left or right hand.
Alab Pilipinas still at it with the zone, but Marcus Elliott, there's that shooting this time from mid-range.
Loves that pull-up jumper from about 17 feet.
Singapore with the lead once again. Brickman looking for a teammate. Ends up with Wyatt. One more time. That's a miss. Heading with the board. Nick King now. Showing us the move. Spinning now. Wow! Tough action right there for Nick King. Here comes Alexander with his own version of spin move, and now he gets involved with Rosa.
Alexander did not appreciate that extra shove coming from Brandon Rosser.
And there is Brandon Ganuelas Rosser, the younger brother of Matt. As you mentioned, also one of the mainstays in the previous season, no?
Yeah.
He actually was struggling with his confidence, as those words actually came from him. Then again, this is his first pro league in his career.
Averaged about close to 5 points, 3 rebounds, 35% from long distance last season. This season, shade under 4 points per game, but he is definitely one of the more athletic forwards for Coach Jimmy Alapag.
And he had himself a chase down block against the Macau Wolf Warriors in overtime. This is the replay. Watch out for that physicality.
There's that right forearm coming from Brandon Rosser, which Alexander felt on the way down.
That's why he reacted, pushing Ganuelas Rosser. No more retaliation from Brandon. 15-12, Singapore with the lead. With 2 minutes and 17, we have substitutions coming in for Alab Pilipinas. Lawrence Domingo is back on the floor alongside Big Sam Deguara, and we have Jeremiah Gray checking in for the very first time.
Gray, another one of their more athletic wing guys. Shoot it from the outside, can also take it strong to the hoop.
And he had himself a great time with Mighty Sports under Coach Charles Dew. Gray onto Brickman. Jason look to break the defense down. And there's a foul on the floor.
That's going to go against Junie Lim. He's taking a little too close.
June Lim in his third season for Singapore, looking to shut down the main playmaker of Alab Pilipinas. Go back to our action. Jeremiah Gray using that pick, driving left. 3 on the shot clock. Brickman pulling it up. That's short, and it ends up with Big Sam with a sorry miss. Here come the Slingers. Marcus Elliott. Go to Lim. Swing it to Alexander. Xavier. 10 on the shot clock now for Elliott. Driving kick. June Lim, right corner, too strong. Good effort right there from the guards of Alab Pilipinas. Jeremiah Gray, 1-2, left-handed layup, no go.
Fast-paced action we're having right now.
Delvin Go running the floor. Good rejection by Alab Pilipinas.
That's a double block for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
Miss on the shot. Now a foul inside at the loose ball.
Oh, you have to give credit to San Miguel Alab Pilipinas getting back down in transition. No easy attempt there. As you see this block, or double block from Lawrence Domingo and Jeremiah Gray.
There's the effort, and now we're seeing Andre Carakut play for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, his first season here in the ABL, fresh off graduating from De La Salle University. And this guy, you gotta love this guy, Lavin Raj, who was a crowd favorite in the Southeast Asian Games.
Well, Lavin Raj making his first appearance here. Andre Carakut, former Green Archer. We know this guy can hit big, or talking about Andre Carakut, can hit big shots, loves to snipe it from the outside. Excellent playmaker here for Coach Jimmy Alapag.
Former team captain of La Salle, now manning the point guard duties for Coach Jimmy Alapag.
A little bit of half-court trap here for the Singapore Slingers.
Philippines trying to go inside. Jeremiah Gray was there. Bodies on the floor. Xavier Alexander absorbing the contact once again with Ganuelas Rosser.
A lot of bodies on the floor, and looks like Xavier Alexander Got hit in the face by Ganuela's roster.
This is the replay. Take a close look at it. There's that save from Leon Quick.
Now there's the contact between Alexander and Ganuela's roster.
Definitely got hit. But it will be Alab Pilipinas basketball at the baseline.
It's been a long first quarter here, Migs. Low scoring as well, 16 to 12 in favor of the visiting team.
The length of both squads in full display at the defensive ends. And now, there's a foul against Lawrence Domingo.
Looks like they got him for an illegal screen.
48 seconds. Ball is with Xavier Alexander. 16 to 12 for the road team. Leon Quick onto Lavin Raj. Here's Delvin Go onto Alexander. 10 on the shot clock. Xavier will drive baseline. Oh, good pass to Lavin. And the tap by Karakot. One guy ahead. Here we go. Almost a breakaway for Jeremiah Gray, but he lost space.
Wasted opportunity there. Coach Miguel Alab telling Karakot to just settle down.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah, another turnover for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. I think they have about 5 turnovers here in the first quarter.
17 seconds remaining in the first frame. 16 to 12, Singapore with the basketball. Alexander will command things for the Slingers. Xavier now stepping back. Another one. Alexander too strong. And that's gonna do it, folks, for our first quarter action. Back and forth we have been going. And after the dunk by Nick King to start things off, the Singapore Slingers have been proving themselves dominant as well on the offensive end, especially with Sam De Guara going to the bench, using their length. There you see the offensive rebounding by Anthony McLean as he has been scoring inside. On the other end, Jason Brickman has been trying to answer back. Have had 2 threes as well from their wing players, but we end things after the first quarter with a score 16 to 12.
Opportunity here to take back the lead. That is Jason Brickman.
All right, let's talk about Khalif Wyatt as you take a look at his highlights. That guy lit it up in their previous match with 6 3-point shots for Alab Pilipinas. And there you see the great finish for our squad. Unfortunately on that play, on that exact play, Lawrence Domingo had a chance to seal it in regulation. But then again in the clutch, in overtime, Khalif Wyatt was able to deliver.
Had 17 of those 24 points in the fourth quarter and in overtime. With several big 3-point shots during the end game, and it has been a big addition here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
Second quarter action here in Santa Rosa. This is Mix Gomez alongside Marco Benitez and Sidney Crespo at your service for Alab Pilipinas versus the Singapore Slingers. Our score 16 to 12 in favor of the road squad.
Slingers back with their starting unit on the floor.
Leon Quick onto Alexander. Try to go inside. Good anticipation from Alab Pilipinas.
That's going to be another turnover for the Slingers.
Lawrence Domingo, what a pass onto Ganuela's roster. That's going to be a goaltend.
Excellent rim run there for Canuela's roster, and a nice, better find coming from Lawrence Domingo. You know, familiarity between these two players as the only two holdovers. There's that cut, and then easy call for the referee.
Perfect pass as well from Lawrence Domingo, and well, we talked about the confidence of Canuela's roster. Looking good in the season so far. Marcus Elliott, defended by Jordan Heading. There's Leon Quick. They go to Delvin Go, spinning his way, baseline, reverse, too strong. Here come the white shirts.
I love how Deguara is challenging every shot under the basket.
Jordan Heading from downtown.
Second triple of the ball game for Jordan Heading.
Looks like he is on his way to match or even surpass his previous game performance. Marcus Elliott, mid-range, short. There's that length of Big Sam. Alab Pilipinas pushing the pace. Nick King, too strong. They get the ball back. One more try. King backs it in.
I love the patience of Nick King and the presence of Sam Deguara providing an extra screen.
San Miguel Alab Pilipinas feeling the support of the crowd and the momentum here. They have the lead now, 19-16.
Unlike Alab, Singapore Slingers head coach Neo Beng Chang says they're coming into this season with great chemistry with the almost the same group of guys. However, the Singapore Slingers is playing tonight with an incomplete lineup, missing Larry Liu and Kelvin Lim due to their national service in Singapore. Coach Neo says they've had some challenges preparing for their first game tonight, as most of his players suited up for their national team as well in the recently concluded SEA Games 2019. It's definitely a big loss for Coach Neo, but after the first 10 minutes, he says in the huddle that they're still looking good. They just need to have a better transition defense here in the second quarter. On the other hand, Lawrence Domingo had a minor cut in his right eyebrow after his hustle for the ball, and Team PT Jello Misajan says they're considering stitches after this game. Mix and Marco.
Thank you, Sydney, for that report. Well, national service is a serious thing for Singapore. That's why they're losing the services of Larry Liu, one of the best shooters today. Wow, fantastic defense from Alab Pilipinas. 3 white shirts challenging Xavier Alexander.
Now you love how there are 3 white shirts challenging, and in particular Sam Deguara has gone after almost every shot attempt under the basket. Whenever you have your 6 or 7'5" big man being a great goaltender under the basket, it's gonna be a nightmare for opposing teams.
Some sources say he's 7'4", some sources say he's 7'6", but it doesn't matter.
One
He's
thing's
tall.
for sure, he's taller than everybody else.
There you go. Xavier Alexander at the line.
Quick 5-0 blast here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
And the crowd has definitely come alive here in the second quarter. To the delight of the Alab Pilipinas squad, they could certainly use that energy from the Filipinos supporting. Heading on to Gray, they go inside, Big Sam in slow motion. That's a travel.
Taking steps there for Sam Deguara. Could have gone for a quick turnaround, but not used to finishing with his left.
We go back with Singapore, Xavier Alexander onto Marcus Elliott. Matched up against Jordan Heading. It's Leon Quick. Alexander popping out. Here comes Elliott. They go to Delvin. Delvin go. Too strong on the back. Battle inside. It ends up with Nick King.
Yeah, just the mere presence of Deguara making it difficult for Delvin Go.
Cross-court pass, Jeremiah Gray. Nick King now, commanding it. Going inside to Big Sam. Once again, exploiting that matchup. second try, no jump needed, but he misses. Remember, he has to be careful. 2 fouls early in this game for Big Sam. Alexander now against Jordan Heading. Posting up, Xavier. Putting it up, too strong. Great effort by Jeremiah Gray on the rebound. Now he's running the floor, 1-2. Too strong off the glass. But Domingo was there, could not save it completely.
Look at the athletes of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas just crashing the boards, just unable to finish.
19-17, still in favor of Alab Pilipinas. Here's Marcus Elliott, top of the key, that's short. Another board for Gray. Jeremiah onto Nick King, he was asking for it. 2-man game, Nick King, mid-range, short. Back and forth. Singapore running. They go to Delvin Go, who backs it in.
One of the few baskets in transition for the Singapore Slingers. You know, both teams doing an excellent job getting back in transition. That's why the fast break points have been few and far between.
7 points for Delvin Go. Here's Heading. Defended by Leon Queck on the switch. 8 on the shot clock. Jordan Heading, top of the key, short. Here's Alexander running the floor once again, showing us the moves. Pure magic from Xavier Alexander.
And this is what Alexander has done season in and season out, putting pressure on the defense in transition. So difficult to stop whenever you have a 6'7" import running the floor.
Product of Southern Nazarene University. He had all NAIA Division I First Team honors, all Sooner Athletic Conference First Team, and NAIA All-American honors. That's all for Xavier Alexander, who ran the floor to score. Now it's an end-one situation for Singapore. Misses though.
5-0 answer for the Singapore Slingers after that quick 5-0 start here in the second quarter by Alab.
There's Khalif Wyatt. There's that screen by Big Sam. Wyatt slicing through the defense. Kick out. Brickman at the corner. It's a miss. McLean with the board.
And Marcus Elliott will slow it down. They will try to look for, they've not been able to find Anthony McLean under the basket.
Elliott still has it. Defended by Louis Vigil. Elliott mid-range. There's the effort, but Brickman was there for the recovery. Jason onto Louis. Back to Brickman. Go to the post. Nick King directing traffic. We go to Big Sam. Wow. He misses that shot at the free throw line.
Well challenged by Anthony McLean.
There's Leon Queck at the corner at the other end. He makes that three.
Big triple for Leon Queck. First points of the game for Queck.
24-19 for Singapore. Khalif Wyatt answers back for Alab Pilipinas.
And Delvin Go making the mistake of fighting under the screen. Definitely within the range of Khalif Wyatt.
6 points on 2 3-point shots for Mr. Wyatt. There's Alexander, defended by Nick King. Alexander pulling up, and he answers back.
2 triples in the game already for Xavier Alexander. Not really known as a 3-point shooter, but he has really improved on that year in and year out.
He's the first guy in double figures, 11 points, and now the feed inside, and Big Sam Deguara for the jam.
Khalif Wyatt forcing the switch and recognizing he had a much smaller defender on Sam Deguara. Easy 2 points of Big Sam.
Alexander. They go to Elliott at the post, defended by Brickman. Marcus, bounce pass, what a feed onto Anthony McLean.
That's the beauty of having a Marcus Elliott on the floor. Can post up against smaller defenders, so unselfish finding Anthony McLean. But here's that interior pass from Wyatt. Easy 2 points, easy flush for Big Sam.
I want to talk about the verticality of Big Sam. Not much needed.
Almost as if he just tiptoed.
Exactly. Hopefully we can see him. Have you seen him dunk without even jumping?
I think he can reach for it.
Just like a Boban, right? There's Anthony McLean. McLean played 20 games with Mono Vampire, averaging 18 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 blocks. After that, he had a stint with the Taiwan Super Basketball League, averaging the same numbers as well.
Desmond O making his first appearance in the game, one of the original Singapore Slingers on his 9th season here in the ASEAN Basketball League.
He has definitely earned himself that nickname, the Glove. A 3-and-D player.
Known as an excellent perimeter defender. He's picking up Jason Brickman.
There's Khalif Wyatt. 10 on the shot clock. 2-man game with Ganuelas Rosser. There's a push.
That's going to be an illegal screen there from Ganuelas Rosser. Marcos Elliott, an excellent perimeter defender as well.
Not much action right there for Alab Pilipinas. The 3 players just looking at the ball handler and the screener. This is the replay as Wyatt was trying to command something for their squad. There's that push on the screen. Go back with Marcus Elliott, defended by Vigil. Leon Quek, 10 on the shot clock. They're up by 6. Good tap. Here come the white shirts. Louis Vigil running the floor, right-handed layup is good.
What a smart move there from Louis Vigil. Quick hesitation and then finishing with the right.
Former USD Growling Tiger delivering for Alab Pilipinas. Now, of course, they are not happy with the call as the ball went out of bounds.
And the referees will discuss. Now here's that fast break sequence once again. Vigil, not afraid to take it against the World Import MVP. Hesitates and then finishes with his strong hand.
It's the perfect English on that play for Louis Vigil. Here he is, defended by Leon Quek. There's that defense from Desmond though, a little bit too tight though.
Jason Brickman, such an experienced player. Easily draws the foul against Desmond O.
Sideline inbound for Louis Vigil.
Slingers still with a 4-point lead.
It's a foul, so that's back-to-back. There you go, and a quick substitution needed here as Coach Neo calls the number of June Lim once again.
Only the second team foul here for the Slingers. Alab with 14 fouls here in the second quarter.
Sideline for Khalif Wyatt. Here's Brickman using that pick. Jason slicing through. Oh, what a putback by Ganuelas Rosser.
That's what you get from Ganuelas Rosser coming from out of nowhere with a tip-in.
Sheer athleticism right there from Brandon Ganuelas Rosser. He's trying to fight through against McLean, but there's that size of Anthony.
That's just the heft of Anthony McLean bullying his way in the paint.
This is the replay. Jason Brickman driving at the left, using the right with the miss, but the athletic finish on the putback for Brandon Ganuelas Rosser.
Nobody boxing out Rosser coming from above the free throw line.
It's Anthony McLean back at it again. Will miss the first free throw.
McLean so far with 7 points. 1 out of 4 from the charity stripe.
Yes,
Alexander leading scorer for the Slingers with 11 points.
McLean has 8 rebounds, almost a double-double here in the first half. We're back with Jason Brickman. Driving left once again, now looking for a teammate, ends up with Alexander. 2-on-3, Xavier Alexander, wow, what a move!
So powerful, coming down lane, coming downhill. Very difficult for even 2 Alab defenders to stop Xavier Alexander.
That makes it 13 points in the ball game for the former world MVP of Singapore, Xavier Alexander, with that 1-2 against Louis Vigil and Nick King as he finishes basket and one situation.
You know, Migs at 6'7" with excellent handles, built like an ox. Xavier Alexander, very difficult to stop as we saw there.
Miss though on the free throw. Here comes Nick King. Alab Pilipinas down by 5. 1 minute and 47 remaining before halftime. Khalif Wyatt asking for Louis Vigil. Now they try to go to Ganuelas Rosser. Posting up. All the physicality in the world. No basket. There's a foul on the floor.
Foul is going to go against Marcus Elliott using the forearm.
Great recognition right there by Alab Pilipinas going to Ganuelas Rosser on the mismatch. There's Brickman. Defended by Lim, getting the switch. Oh, what a feed inside. And the fake. No basket in one situation, but 2 free throws for Brandon Ganuelas Rosser.
And again, Jason Brickman, whenever you roll on that ball screen, you're almost sure that if you're open, he will find you. Excellent up fake from Ganuelas Rosser.
Could have been a good finish for him. Ganuelas Rosser looking good in this quarter, very active offensively. Now he is being rewarded at the line. The first free throw is good.
5 points in the ballgame for Brandon Rosser. Has 2 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block to his name.
And in the article of Danine Cruz of ABS-CBN Sports, it says there that Jimmy Alapag he is being reminded of Jay Washington as he watches Ganuelas Rosser.
Built the same way, equally as athletic.
Here is Elliott to the left. Leon will fire and miss. What a rebound, but then taken away by Alab Pilipinas. White shirts down by 4. More physicality here.
It's going to be back-to-back fouls against Marcus Elliott. So quickly, Singapore getting into the penalty. That's going to mean 2 free throws once again for Rosser.
So Brandon, go back to the line as Marco mentioned. And we did say that comparison with Jay Washington. Ganuelas Rosser, as we know, he is, of course, one half of the Ganuelas brothers with Matt. And Matt as well played for Team Philippines, right? Second free throw is good. Anthony McLean checking back in, the big guy for Singapore.
He's going to relieve Marcus Elliott, who has 2 personal fouls with about a minute left here in the second quarter. Singapore has still maintained a 3-point advantage.
Here's Xavier Alexander, still against that zone. 10 on the shot clock, Delvin Go. Oh, what a feed inside, and the easy jam for McLean.
Very little that Louis Vigil can do under the basket against the 7-foot McLean.
Timeout for Coach Jimmy Alapag, 35-30 in favor of the Slingers. Back here in Santa Rosa for your ABL Sunday. There's that feed from Delvin Go onto Anthony McLean. A traditional high-low play for Singapore.
Good recognition of the 2-3 zone. Good feed at the free throw line into Delvin Go, and better recognition of the mismatch under the basket.
35-30 our score with 40 seconds remaining before halftime. After a great second quarter start by Alab Pilipinas, the recovery was there for Singapore. Coach Neo Bengsiang once again leading the way. And there is Coach Jimmy Alapag for Alab Pilipinas, rocking that white polo as usual. And of course, the junior coach as well, as you can see at the back of the bench of Alab Pilipinas.
Chance for a 2-for-1 here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas if they will go quickly.
Vigil onto Brickman. Headed by June Lim. Has been the matchup all night long so far. Ganuelas Rosser, that's a 3!
That's a big shot for Ganuelas Rosser, finding his rhythm after multiple trips to the free throw line.
What a night for Brandon. Great start. Now he's matched up against the big guy, and McLean will miss.
Sorry miss there from Anthony McLean. Right under the basket against the 6'7" Rosa.
They went straight to him, seeing that matchup, as McLean definitely had the size advantage, the size advantage in the world that he can have.
Oh, without Big Sam DeGuara on the floor, definitely McLean, the #1 option on offense for the Singapore Slingers.
That's because DeGuara has 3 fouls early in this game. McLean, the second free throw is a miss. There's a rebound by Nick King. 10 seconds remaining before halftime. Khalif Wyatt commanding things. 2 seconds remaining. Wyatt gets free and he absorbs the contact.
Unfortunate to pick up a foul there from Leon Kwek. And Kwek is arguing that call.
He was so surprised with that one, as he actually hit the behind of Khalif Wyatt, as he also saw in the reaction of the shot of Khalif. Makes the first free throw. Khalif Wyatt, who played college basketball in Temple University, a former A-10 and Philadelphia Big 5 Player of the Year. He was actually signed by the Philadelphia 76ers in 2013. And then after that, he played in various countries. All right, that's gonna do it, folks, for our first half action. Exciting times here in the ASEAN Basketball League. Only a 1-point ball game in favor of Singapore, as we take you to our highlights in the first half. Big Sam DeGuara in his debut for Alab Pilipinas, the starting center. Unfortunately, he had 3 fouls, but this guy, Xavier Alexander, back at it again for Singapore. 11 early points in the game. Louis Vigil came off the bench to deliver that layup off the fast break, but the offensive execution, and with the size advantage of Anthony McLean inside. We're currently at halftime for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas versus the Singapore Slingers. Our score 36-35 in favor of the road team, and it has been the World Imports show so far, with Marcus Elliott having 5 rebounds and 5 assists. And we also have Xavier Alexander, 13 points, 4 rebounds and 3 assists for them, and 11 points and 8 rebounds for Anthony McLean, as we also take a look at the halftime statistics.
Well, it's a 3-point shooting of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas that is keeping them in the game. 5 of 11 from downtown compared to just 3 out of 9 for the Singapore Slingers. Rebounding-wise, Alab also doing a better job, 29-21. Free throw shootings, they've given up 16 free throw attempts, but Singapore not able to capitalize, only converting on 7 of those 16. Turnovers, Jason Brickman, uncharacteristic of him, having 3 turnovers out of the 11 turnovers, but they've been able to limit the points off turnovers of Singapore Slingers with just 4 points off turnovers, while Alab has converted 8 turnover points off of the Singapore 7 turnovers from the Singapore Slingers. Bench points, clear advantage for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, 11-0 for the home squad.
A total of 7 players have scored for Coach Jimmy Alabag. They're down by 1, but with that good 3-point shooting, which has been there ever since their previous game against Macau, in which they shot the ball 17 out of 38 from downtown. It's looking good once again for Alab Pilipinas. Are we gonna see another good second half from their squad, just like their 4th quarter in their previous match? That we are going to find out after the break. Second half action coming up. We're back here in the Santa Rosa Sports Complex for the first home game of Alab Pilipinas, and this is the first game of Big Sam DeGuara as well. A big new addition, the biggest addition in the world for Alab Pilipinas.
Literally big new addition, standing at 7'5". In 2018-2019, averaged 16.4 points per game, 13.6 rebounds, 1.5 blocks. Again, was part of that Mono Vampire squad that went all the way to the finals after eventually losing San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Played 24 games for Hong Kong Eastern last season before he was replaced by Michael Holyfield, making his appearance here this season in Season 10 with San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, although picked up 3 personal fouls in the first half, so he was saddled with foul trouble. And let's see if he will start the second half for Coach Jimmy Alapag.
He was matched up against Anthony McLean. They started off very well in this ball game, but then as he got in foul trouble. That's when the dominance of McLean started to go here in this match. Start things off for our second half action. Once again, you are catching us live on ABS-CBN SNA. This is your ASEAN Basketball League, brought to you by ABS-CBN Sports and Virtual Playground. This is Mix Gomez alongside Marco Benitez and Sydney Crespo at your service. Our score 36-35. And Marco, in the previous game against Macau, we saw a bad third quarter from Alab Pilipinas. Now, Singapore off to a good start.
Well, first triple of the game for June Lim, and that's actually just a bonus for Coach Neo Bengxiang. Whenever you get June Lim to score for you, that will force Jason Brickman not to cheat on defense.
Here's Jordan Heading. Wow, magic in the air for Mr. Heading using the deckhand.
Had the double clutch in the air as Anthony McLean was about to challenge him for that shot.
Jordan Heading not only hitting threes, also driving with that basketball. 39-37. Anthony McLean back at it again. There's that link. One more try off the glass.
Very little that Brandon Rosser could do there against the 7-foot Anthony McLean right under the basket. So still no Sam DeGuara for Coach Jimmy Alapag.
Mind you, that he has 3 fouls in this ball game. Jordan Heading using that pick. We go to Wyatt. Good fake. Khalif looking for space. There's that deflection and the foul against Delvin Go.
I believe that's only the second personal foul against Delvin Go.
This is that replay of Jordan Heading driving down the middle against the biggest man on the floor, Anthony McLean, as he scores off the glass.
Because San Miguel Alab Pilipinas has a small lineup on the floor, Delvin Go forced to match up against Jordan Heading, so Heading with the quickness advantage.
Nick King. Oh, what a second try. Third one. There's that hustle from Alab Pilipinas.
The athleticism of the forwards of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Canuelas Rosser with an extra tip in, giving Nick King a second chance or a third chance opportunity.
And Brandon Canuelas Rosser has been fighting all night against Anthony McLean, rewarding his teammate Nick King. And that guy has been consistent for Alab Pilipinas, 21-7 in their first game. In their second, 18-10-7. Now he's back at it again. Back-to-back baskets for Mr. King.
That's a 4-point play in reverse for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Again, the bigs of Alab outworking the Singapore Slingers.
And now, Xavier Alexander with the recovery, scoring for Singapore.
7 quick points to start the third quarter for the Slingers.
Here's Nick King trying to post up. Good feed inside, and there's that length of McLean. Marcus Elliott now bringing down that basketball. Elliott, 1-2, getting the bump, too strong. Inside, basket and one. You can hear Xavier Alexander roar right there as he's once again getting into it with Brandon Canuelas Rosser.
Alexander having a lot of sweet nothings to say there to Canuelas Rosser, as he did not appreciate that extra shove after that the basket by Nick King.
There it is. They have been going at it since the first half. And Xavier Alexander.
Well, you can be sure the reigning World Import MVP will not back down from Canuelas Rosser.
Now he has 16 points in the ball game. Nick King spinning, tough shot, off angle as well. And there's that save, a foul against Rosser. Take this time to go back to our courtside reporter, Sydney Crespo.
After the first half, head coach Jimmy Alapag rallied to his players and asked them to keep their heads up. In the first 2 quarters, Alab has set the pace slower than what the coaching staff would like it to be, and so they would like to pick up the pace at this time. The instructions were clear for Team Philippines. Coach Jimmy wants his players to dive for the ball right away, no second thoughts, and not foul as much this second half. Your thoughts, Mix and Marco?
Well, right on cue, Sydney. as Marco and I were talking about the slow pace of the Singapore Slingers, which they are very capable of winning basketball games at that pace, and at the same time, that low scoring, that can benefit them, right?
Oh, that's a great heads-up play there from Delvin Goba. And as you mentioned, Migs, if this continues to be a low-scoring ball game, I feel this is to the advantage of the Slingers, as they are more used to playing the defensive kind of basketball, and that is what we've seen so far in the first half.
It's Anthony McLean using the left hand, pure dominance inside.
They are imposing their will inside the paint without Sam De Guara for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. 14-6, third quarter in favor of the Slingers so far.
Now this is the biggest lead for Singapore. 50-41. Jordan heading from downtown. That's a miss. Here come the Slingers, looking to build on with their lead.
And they will continue to slow it down and look for their big man in the post.
Marcus Elliott, mid-range, that's a miss. Rebound once again to McLean. He's taking his time. Anthony, lefty once again.
You love the patience there from Anthony McLean, waiting for the defense to spread out, and then takes it one-on-one against his defender.
Alab Pilipinas, they have been in this situation already in both games. In the first one, it was a blowout against Mono Vampire. In the second one, they were able to have a comeback against the Macau Wolf Warriors. Nick King, tough shot. Offensive rebound, Khalif Wyatt. There's that neck once again of McLean. Here comes Singapore. Hook shot too strong. Delvin Go. One more try and he backs it in. That has completely silenced the crowd here in Santa Rosa. The Singapore Slingers, they have built a 13-point lead, 54-51, almost halfway through the third. Oh, there you see John Victor Guzman as he congratulates him once again for bagging a silver medal in the 2019 Southeast Asian Games, playing for men's volleyball. What a win that was. A very historic victory against Thailand in the semifinals.
That was just a tremendous showing by our men's and women's volleyball squads. And again, we congratulate Mr. John Victor Guzman.
Of course, mabuhay ang bawat atletang Pilipino dahil galing natin ito. Pero sa ngayon, we are seeing the skill, the height, the hustle, and there's just the overall great basketball from the Singapore Slingers as they have built a 13-point lead, 54-41. Anthony McLean in full display, but now he has his matchup. Sam De Guara checking back in for Alab Pilipinas.
So Jimmy Alapag forced to send Big Sam back into the ball game despite 3 personal fouls, as the length and the height of the Slingers have really dominated Alab here in the third quarter.
They go to Big Sam, backing up. De Guara taking his time. Wow, that was blocked. That's the perfect matchup. Anthony McLean just there with enough height and enough strength as well to hold his ground against Big Sam.
He's just big enough or hefty enough for Sam De Guara not to be able to push him around, despite the 4-inch or 5-inch height advantage of Big Sam De Guara.
Almost halfway through the third quarter. Here's Delvin. On to Elliott. Marcus looking for a teammate. Alexander. Anthony, he was asking for that basketball. Play now, 5 seconds to work with. Alexander driving, 2 seconds. Marcus Elliott was not aware of it, and that's a turnover.
Singapore taking too long on that possession as Alexander raises his hand and admits his mistake.
It's Coach Neil Mexian leading the way.
That is only the 8th turnover of the Slingers. Alab has 12 turnovers in the game.
Here's Nick King driving down the middle. He backs it in.
One of the few times that Nick King has gone to the lane uncontested. Extra screen set up there by Sam Deguara.
Lead is 11 points. Alexander now. They go inside. McLean answering back for Singapore.
And a nice ball reversal and a high-low play there coming from Delvin Go.
We have seen that in the first half as well. The connection from the two big men. Brickman, top of the key. That's a miss.
Well, Jason Brickman has been quiet offensively in this ball game. Only with 2 points.
He has given out the assists in the first half, but they're going to need more from him, especially that they're down now. Great hustle by Delvin Go. There's Alexander. Xavier, 6 to work with. Spin move. Xavier Alexander will miss. Another chance. Elliott once again. Good tap by Jeremiah Gray. He's up ahead. Gray with the athleticism. Basket and one.
How about the hang time there from Jeremiah Gray, and then the nice outlet pass from San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
There's that spark plug that Alab Pilipinas definitely needed off that forward pass from Nick King. Jeremiah Gray on the receive as he was able to absorb the contact and score. Now a chance to trim the lead down to 10.
Well, with this big lineup mix of the Singapore Slingers, Alab really has to look for every opportunity to be able to score in transition. Only their 6th fast break point of the game.
It's the battle of the paces as well. Marco talked about the slow pace in favor of Singapore. Again, Alab Pilipinas being able to run. Here's Alexander at the corner. No bounce. And possession here. It will go to the white shirts.
4 out of 10 from long distance, or make that 4 out of 11 from long distance for the Slingers, while San Miguel Alab Pilipinas so far 5 out of 14. They've not hit a triple here in the third quarter.
Go back with Brickman. Using 2 picks up top. Nick King, high-low. This time around, it's Big Sam absorbing the contact.
Nice double ball screen leading into a post-up move there, or not leading into a high-low play between King and Sam Deguara. Anthony McLean forced to foul.
That's 2 fouls on Mr. McLean. There's the contact as Big Sam was sealing inside. It will be a baseline inbound for Jason Brickman. They're down by 10 with 3 minutes and 12. Brickman looking for a teammate. Bounce pass onto Big Sam. Mid-range is good.
Showing us the soft touch from about 12 feet.
The Filipino fans just love this guy. So I'm so sorry to Mr. Lavin Raj, but there is a new crowd favorite.
They're going to force the turnover here from the Singapore Slingers.
This is the replay as Big Sam shows us the range in slow motion, but he delivers 2 points for Alab Pilipinas.
It's down to 8 points here.
Jason Brickman back at it again. 2-man game, crossing over down the middle. Wow. A sorry miss though. Brickman gets it back onto Nick King. 10 on the shot clock. Domingo spinning, slicing his way through. But he will miss. And that's going to bounce off Xavier Alexander. Turnover for Singapore.
Coach Leo Bengshine looking for the foul. No foul called by the referee. Instead, it's going to be a turnover for the Singapore Slingers.
And you mentioned the tall lineup needed those fast break scoring. But now for Alab Pilipinas, they're going even taller with Khalif Wyatt at the point guard position, replacing Jason Brickman.
Coach Jimmy Alapag looking for more scoring all around with Khalif Wyatt. Probably a more potent scoring threat as Jason Brickman is a pass-first type of point guard.
Here's Wyatt. Pick up top. There's that roll. Domingo kick out. Nick King too strong. Big Sam was there. Once again in slow motion. missing on the reverse.
Solid defense there coming from Delvin Go and Anthony McLean.
Elliott, oh, good tap by Big Sam. Alab Pilipinas, they need to run. Jeremiah Gray finding an opening. Khalif Wyatt, some contact, no call, and a miss. A tap from behind. Marcus Elliott rejected ultimately by Nick King. Back and forth we go. Jeremiah Gray on to Domingo, looking for a teammate. Here's Wyatt, he thought about it. Bounce pass, Big Sam will miss. One more chance.
Good job by Khalif Wyatt settling the troops. 6 seconds on the shot clock.
Down to 3, crossover, a 3-point shot, that's a miss.
Singapore able to make the stops.
Delvin Go on the other end, he will score, basket in 1.
And there you see the smarts of Delvin Go as the defense was not ready, sealed his man, and then the familiarity between him and Xavier Alexander, easy 2 points, plus the possibility of 3 for Delvin Go.
Boy, that just hurts for Alab Pilipinas. A lot of chances to score, and now they give up a possible 3-point play. Lead back to 10. Delvin Go will complete it. Now we have Lavin Raj coming back in.
Delvin Go quietly amassing 14 points already here in the ball game. He has played excellent interior defense and also has 9 rebounds and 2 assists.
That's why he's also getting his screen time.
That's going to be a foul against Lavin Raj as he has just checked into the ball game. So he's going to have the unenviable task of defending against Sam DeGuara.
First free throws a miss. Even on free throws, Sam DeGuara's hearing it from the crowd. Gotta love it. Not only today, once again, you'll get to see Alab Pilipinas defend on the home floor on Tuesday at the Phil Oil Fine East Center.
2 missed free throws for Sam DeGuara.
Here's Elliott. And there's a steal. Nick King running the floor behind the back. 46 seconds. Now they go to Domingo. Lawrence, kick out. Wyatt slicing through behind the back. Tough moves. Domingo, wow, take him down to the wing room.
Bullying his way inside the paint, taking it strong against Delvin Go. 9-point deficit for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
Still very manageable here. 22 seconds remaining. We have a 9-second shot clock and game clock differential.
Remember, they were down 14 points against the Wolf Warriors in their last game.
Oh, good hustle almost from Delvin Go. Bodies on the floor once again. We have been seeing all the physicality in this world in this match.
That's going to go against Lavin Raj once again. That's going to send Domingo to the free throw line.
There's that bump by Lawrence Domingo as he was able to bank it in for Alab Pilipinas. 2 free throws for the Alab Pilipinas veteran.
First trip to the charity stripe for Lawrence Domingo.
So Sydney mentioned that he had a cut on his right eyebrow early in this basketball game. There you see it. We're going to see if it's going to need or how many stitches that it's going to need after the ball game.
That's 4 straight misses now for the home squad. 2 from DeGuara, 2 from Lawrence Domingo. So could have brought the lead down to 5 points.
Now we're seeing a new face coming in. Chadi Rangel, the former NU Bulldog.
Louis Vigil, former the USD Growling Tiger.
Louis Vigil had himself a layup in the first half at the fast break. Could be a full court inbound for Singapore. You have 7.8 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
You can count on either Alexander or Marcus Elliott to go hard at the basket.
There's Marcus Elliott with that basketball. Defended by Gray. pick up top. Marcus Elliott, too strong. One more chance to beat the buzzer, and that's going to do it, folks. Our third quarter action. It was won definitely by the Singapore Slingers, winning the quarter by 8 points. 59-50 as you take a look at some highlights. Delvin Go leading the way once again as one of the proud products of Singapore. Big Sam was there for Alab Pilipinas. But with everything that's going very well for Delvin Go and company, Singapore is still looking good on the road. This is Lawrence Domingo with the last push at the latter part of the third. Although with the missed free throws that Marco mentioned as well, they're still down by 9, 59-50. Back here in the city of Santa Rosa, Laguna for your ABL Sunday. Once again, this is brought to you by ABS-CBN Sports and Virtual Playground. Mix Gomez at your service alongside Marco B, Marco Benitez, and Madam Sydney Crespo. Our score 59-50 as we start things off in the fourth and final frame. Alab Pilipinas with Khalif Wyatt, Nick King, Louis Vigil, Big Sam Deguara, and Jeremiah Gray.
Well, that was another low-scoring third quarter for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, only managing 15 points versus 23 from the Singapore Slingers as Sam Deguara starts us out with 2 points in the paint.
I think he heard you, Marco.
Yep. 0 out of 5 from long distance for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas in that third quarter.
They shoot the ball a lot better, just like in the previous match in the fourth quarter. Here is Xavier Alexander. Bounce pass inside to McLean.
2-3 zone there for the white shirts. Alexander with the right idea of sucking the defense, forcing Sam Deguara to defend him, and then a bounce pass to Anthony McLean.
Louis Vigil looking for a teammate. There's Wyatt. Two-man game with Nick King. 10 on the shot clock. They got the switch. Wyatt still has it. Pulling up. Palms away.
Tough shot there over the outstretched hands of Xavier Alexander.
There you see it. The three-point shooting coming alive at the early part of the fourth quarter. 61-55. Marcus Elliott on the mid-range.
That's too wide open for Marcus Elliott. 17-footer.
That jump shot just looking silky smooth for him. Nick King onto Vigil. Go inside. Deguara onto Jeremiah Gray. This time on the mid-range, too strong. There's that length of Big Sam. Vigil driving right. Kick out. Nick King. It's his turn. Too strong on the shot though. After run. Leon Quick. Elliott will settle things down for Singapore. Xavier Alexander attacking as soon as he got the basketball and he absorbs the contact.
And the veteran that Xavier Alexander is immediately calling for the ball as he saw the mismatch. But here's that triple from Khalif Wyatt. Third triple of the game.
It's a big time shot for Alab Pilipinas. They're going to need to make those long range shots from downtown. As of course, they're still down by 8 points here with 8 minutes remaining. Xavier Alexander back at it again, going to the line for free throws.
Jeremiah Gray has been quiet in this ball game. Now we have not seen Jordan hitting here in the fourth quarter, or even towards the latter portion of the third.
And those two people, they were key to their win. Jeremiah Gray had 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists against Macau. And then Jordan Heading, we have been talking about him, 27 points and 6 3-point shots against the Wolf Warriors.
So Xavier Alexander restores the 10-point advantage for the Slingers.
Big Sam, oh, what a play! Big Sam De Guara in full authority for Alab Pilipinas.
Nice spin move to the baseline, patiently creates space. And once he had McLean moved out of the way, easy flush for Big Sam De Guara.
He took a pause, definitely had his time, and then with a spectacular move, unfortunately another missed free throw.
Well, free throws have been a pain here for Coach Jimmy Alapag.
Marcus Elliott gets it back at the corner, driving now. There's the contact from Gray.
And Marcus Elliott just so strong, drawing the contact.
All right, now we have a report coming in from Sydney Crespo.
After the third quarter, Coach Neo Beng Shang of Singapore commends the defense of his players and says they've got good rhythm on the floor. They just have to continue their hustle and don't be intimidated of the home team and crowd. For Alab, they've been expecting big things from their new addition, Sam De Guara. As Coach Jimmy explained, he should be a huge presence both offensively and defensively. So his energy was very important for the team. In the last 10 minutes, the Alab squad needs to move the ball more and give their collective effort according to Coach Jimmy Alapag to get their first win at home. Your thoughts, Mix and Marco?
Thank you, Sydney, for that report. And to your point, they have been needing Sam De Guara defensively, and also this guy, Louis Vigil, USD Tiger 3. Lead down to 5, Alab Pilipinas, the city of Santa Rosa, do come alive because we have ourselves a ball game. 7 minutes and 11, 65-60. Alright, we're back for your ASEAN Basketball League. It's 10th season, and this guy, Louis Vigil, with all the confidence in the world, burning that basketball, putting it down in flames for Alab Pilipinas as he delivers all the way from Splash Island. And there you see him. He trims the lead down to 5, 65-60 with 7 minutes and 11 remaining in the basketball game.
Well, Louis Vigil, all career long, has been known to play with confidence, and that time shooting right at the crosshairs of the reigning world import MVP in Xavier Alexander. What a big shot to trim the deficit down to 5.
Louis Vigil, a champion himself 3 times in the Pro League. In high school, he was a part of that JRU program, a UST Growling Tiger as well, his last season in the UAAP in season 79.
Definitely still a lot of time here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas with 7 minutes down by just 5, but they're going to have to make some stops.
Xavier Alexander, former MVP, Delvin Go. Oh, almost a stop. Brickman is back in the ball game against Elliott. 5 on the shot clock. What a spin move! And that short, McLean on the putback.
We saw the strike there of Marcus Elliott just erasing Jason Brickman from the play.
Here's Brickman looking to answer back for Alab Pilipinas. There's the tap. Will be a baseline inbound for the home squad.
15 seconds on the shot clock. Still a lot of time to set something up here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
Brickman will be inbounding it. He has Domingo De Guara alongside Wyatt and Vigil. Not much space given to Brickman by Elliott. Baseline play. Brickman off to Wyatt. 6.5 minutes. Khalif Wyatt, tough three. Yes, sir.
Even lost it for a bit, but able to recover. And again, Khalif Wyatt has been Mr. Big Shot here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas the past 2 games.
Oh, what a steal. Jason Brickman running the floor. This is what they have been needing. Khalif Wyatt bombs away.
How about the recognition from Jason Brickman? Saw that Khalif Wyatt had just hit a triple, finds the guy in transition.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the lead is down to 1 here in Santa Rosa. 67-66, Alab Pilipinas marching their way in our basketball game. Khalif Wyatt has had himself a great quarter so far with back-to-back three-point shots for Alab Pilipinas. The first one was a double pump. As we take a look at the replay using that pick, that's a tough three as he delivers the first one, and then on the second one, it's off the fast break, the dish from Mr. Jason Brickman. And there you go, Khalif Wyatt with his 5th three-point shot of the ball game, 17 total points for him.
Well, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas making a run here in the 4th quarter. That's almost 6 unanswered points for the home squad. And what a great timing for Coach Jimmy Alapag to have this lineup on the floor with Jason Brickman, Louis Vigil, Khalif Wyatt as their backcourt. 2-3 zone right now for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
To go to the right, Jun Lim. Crowd feeding it down. Elliot to Alexander, 10 on the shot clock. Marcus on to Delvin Go. Swing it to Jun Lim with a 3, too strong. Rebound not fully controlled by Khalif Wyatt.
That's the only shot that Alab was giving up as they were closing out hard on both Xavier Alexander and Marcus Elliott.
4 seconds on the shot clock remaining. McLean, clean look. That was way short. And here comes Alab Pilipinas. Louis Vigil. Tough moves. Jason Brickman now. On to Domingo. Fake. Pass. Vigil getting the contact. That's going to be against Jun Lim.
Like a veteran move there from Louis Vigil. You have to give it to Lawrence Domingo. Could have gone up, but decided not to force it. Found an open teammate who draws the foul.
This is the replay. Louis Vigil. There's the contact. As of course you get to see the whole Alab Pilipinas bench react. Turnover right now. Red shirts running. Jun Lim against all the white shirts in the world. Sam Deguara was there, and that's going to bounce off a white shirt, so it's going to be Singapore basketball.
That's a lucky break there for the Singapore Slingers as Jun Lim took off with nowhere to go and nobody to pass to. Almost a turnover for the Slingers.
Baseline, Alexander to Elliott, defended by Wyatt. Xavier now, on to Jun Lim. They go to Delvin Go, posting up, size advantage. There's the help. Oh, what a rejection by Louis Vigil. Jason Brickman now, going to Wyatt, open look, once again!
San Miguel Alab Pilipinas grabbing the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Back-to-back threes from Mr. Khalif Wyatt. That's a total of 6 3-point shots, 20 points in the ball game. No answer back for Singapore. Jason Brickman on the touchdown.
Jason Brickman has been in the middle of every basket, either assisting it or making it.
Have yourself a show. Alab Pilipinas up by 4, 71-67, under 5 minutes remaining in the basketball game. Here's Elliott trying to slice through. Marcus Elliott. Alexander, Xavier spinning. tough moves, and he absorbs the contact.
I'm just amazed at the way Jason Brickman has taken over this ball game. He has found Khalif Wyatt for 2 out of his last 3 triples. This is the last one to grab the lead again from Brickman to Wyatt.
What a shooter that we have for Alab Pilipinas, Khalif Wyatt. And this time around, returning the favor as Wyatt passes it on to Jason Brickman. And now we have Xavier Alexander at the line once again. He has 18 points so far in the basketball game. First free throw is way short due to the light of the crowd.
And the free throw shooting of both squads leaving much to be desired here. As Singapore Slingers, I don't think they're shooting at 50% from the line in this ball game.
Second one is good for Xavier Alexander. Nick King is back in the ball game as he replaced Lawrence Domingo. Here's Brickman, headed by Jun Lim. Brickman finds an opening, getting the bump, no go. And the Slingers are running. Alexander, you know he will attack it. He will get the foul.
Whenever you have Xavier Alexander coming downhill, he goes for that football carry. Almost impossible to stop him. You either have to give the 2 points or you're forced to foul. He's just so strong with the ball in transition.
Now he's going to go back to the line to be tested once again. 50% in his previous visit. There is Coach Jimmy Alapag alongside assistant coaches MC Evolucion and Makuan. Also Eric Mick at the sideline. Xavier Alexander hearing it from the crowd. First one is good.
Lead is down to 2 points. Still a lot of ball game left with 4:02 remaining.
Second free throw from Mr. Alexander. There you go, 50% once again, but the recovery from Marcus Elliott. A chance to tie or get the lead. Elliott to McLean. No swipe. Here's Lim. Open look. Marcus Elliott. Wow, what a delivery.
That's a big shot for the former World Import MVP.
He brings the lead back to Singapore, 72-71, breaking the hearts of the Filipino crowd here. 3:46 remaining. We're back here in Santa Rosa, and there you see one of the familiar places or faces here in the ABL, Mr. J.R. Alabanza, former player of Alab Pilipinas. He now plays in the MPBL. All right, so let's get to see this replay as Marcus Elliott was able to deliver a big-time shot for the Singapore Slingers, giving the lead back to their squad.
And you know, prior to that three-pointer by Marcus Elliott, he was 0 out of 4 from long distance, but you never question the confidence of a former World Import MVP and ABL champion. So what a time to hit that big shot, restoring the lead to the Singapore Slingers.
Marcus Elliott bearing with him a lot of basketball experience, NCAA Division I for Louisiana Tech, played in Chile, Uruguay, Venezuela, Argentina, Ecuador, Mexico, and Hong Kong, a journeyman in world basketball. Here's Nick King muscling his way through. Kick out. Brickman for 3. Yes, sir!
Big triple from Jason Brickman. 0 out of 2 prior to that three-point shot.
Here's Elliott trying to answer back. Too strong. Battled with the loose ball and ends up with Singapore. Elliott driving, hooking it up and in.
How about the confidence of Marcus Elliott? Big shot after big shot.
Now he's coming alive at the perfect time for the Slingers. Jason Brickman onto Nick King. They go to Big Sam. Louis Vigil is still on the floor, attacking, putting it up and in.
And how about the big shot this time from Louis Vigil? Coach Jamie Alabag asking for one stop.
Gotta love the heart of that guy. Louis Vigil delivering for Alab Pilipinas. Now Elliott onto Alexander. Xavier open for a while. Mid-range too strong.
And Khalif Wyatt will slow it down, asking for a ball screen.
Here's Big Sam up top. Khalif Wyatt. 10 on the shot clock. Louis Vigil driving onto Deguara. Now facing up. Jump shot is good.
What a shot from the baseline from about 15 feet.
Fans in celebration here in Santa Rosa. Big Sam Deguara showing us the range once again. 78-74. Xavier Alexander. In their first game of the season, he scores once again.
Alexander bullying his way into the paint.
78-76, back and forth we go. Down the wire here in the 10th season of the ABL. Bounce pass intercepted. Singapore with a great chance.
And a good decision there by Alexander to keep the ball.
Kick out, June Lim at the corner. That's a heartbreaker.
What a shot from June Lim. Missed the ring entirely on a previous attempt. This time, nothing but net.
June Lim getting extended minutes. And certainly delivering. Brickman, kick out, Wyatt. What a fake. He puts it up and he puts it in.
Both teams answering each other.
Arrows up in the bullseye for Mr. Wyatt, 81-79. 1 minute remaining. Marcus Elliott cannot answer back. Here's Alab Pilipinas. They don't have the numbers.
No need to rush here for Brickman.
Wyatt faking. Wyatt going all the way, and he backs it in.
What a smart play there. Hesitation, fakes the pass. And then goes up hard, draws the foul. Basket is good.
Khalif Wyatt, he has been the master of three-point plays, whether it may be three-point shots. And now with a basket and one situation, he can deliver 3 more points. As you take a look at the highlights, this guy, Big Sam Deguara, also showing us the range off the baseline shot. And of course, we go back to Mr. Khalif Wyatt, the 3-point shot once again before the foul that he obtained, as now he proceeds to the free throw area for the bonus and a chance to extend the lead to 5 points.
That was the 7th triple of the game for Khalif Wyatt. Now goes up to 24 big points.
Now a timeout called by Coach Neo Bengsiang. Our score 84-79, 46 seconds remaining. Alab Pilipinas with the lead. 4-79 in favor of their home squad, and Khalif Wyatt has definitely put everything on flames for Alab Pilipinas, blazing hot with 18 fourth quarter points for a total of 26 in the ball game. Wow, what a spectacular performance.
Well, we saw that in the game against the Macau Wolf Warriors, where he had 17 of his 24 points in the fourth quarter and overtime. So doing it once again here against the Singapore Slingers. Alab has outscored the Slingers 34-20 here in the fourth quarter.
So, does he deserve a new nickname? Mr. Fourth Quarter or Mr. Clutch? Oh, that's not our call. That's not our call. We'll let the people decide. But then again, he has had himself a great performance once again. Now Lawrence Domingo checking back in for defensive purposes alongside Jordan Heading.
Offense-defense substitution here for Coach Jimmy Alapag.
Here is Kuek for 3. He will miss. 40 seconds remaining. Alab Pilipinas with Jason Brickman. He has the basketball, a double team. There's Jordan heading. Louis Vigil is there as well. Jordan heading. Tough shot, and he puts it in.
What a basket from heading.
Xavier Alexander on the other end will jam it home. The lead is still 5 points. There's a bump, no foul called. Brickman to Vigil, breaking down that defense. They have the time on their hands, only a 1 second differential, shot clock and game clock.
Took a lot of time for the Slingers to foul. That's going to send Vigil to the free throw line, but here's that looper of a layup from Jordan heading.
That was using the offhand, going high off the glass as he backs it in for Alab Pilipinas, 86-81. These players just coming alive at the perfect time for Coach Jimmy Alapag.
No timeouts left for Coach Neo Beng Xiang. Coach Jimmy Alapag has 1 timeout remaining, which he will call right now.
Hear the crowd make some noise here in Santa Rosa, as Alab Pilipinas has definitely provided a good show. 86-81, 15 seconds remaining. All right, no more timeouts left. 15 seconds remaining. Alab Pilipinas with a 5-point lead, and what a way for them to have their first home game of the season.
There you go. After scoring just 15 points in the third quarter, Alab exploding for 36 points here in the fourth, led of course by Khalif Wyatt, who already has 26 big points in the game. There's still a chance here for the Singapore Slingers. Louis Vigil on the stripe.
Well, they definitely have to be careful, Alab Pilipinas. It will be a sideline inbound for Louis
It's just going to be a
Vigil.
sideline inbound. So that foul will put Singapore in the penalty. So crucial inbounds here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
You can't afford any turnovers. Wyatt is there. There's the contact.
Oh, it's going to go against Delvin Gold. That's going to send Wyatt to the free throw line, where he is still perfect, 3 out of 3.
And he has been perfect in the clutch moments for Alab Pilipinas. 26 points, 7 out of 9 3-point shooting. Let's do the quick math. 77% from downtown for Khalif Wyatt. And of course, he deserves this. He deserved to take these 2 free throws. First one is good. Nothing but net.
Against the Wolf Warriors, he came off the bench, shot 6 out of 10 from three-point land, finishing with 24 points.
After that, 6 rebounds and 7 assists as well against the Wolf Warriors. This time around, he has 5 rebounds and 4 assists as Jordan Heading checks back in to defend Marcus Elliott. 13 seconds remaining for Singapore, down by 7. Elliott will drive. Now there's a foul.
That's going to send Marcus Elliott to the free throw line for 2 charities.
That definitely stops the clock at 9.5, so 88-81. A chance for 2 points here for Mr. Elliott. Another situational substitution. A pair of subs coming in, Nick King and Khalif Wyatt.
Almost mathematically impossible here unless Singapore is able to come up with a miracle.
In the words of Tito Migo Halili, a miracle of biblical proportions. And we have definitely seen a lot of magic in basketball.
But when you have a guy like Jason Brickman playing the point guard for you, does not often make mistakes. All you need for Alab, all that Alab needs to do is to get the ball inbounds, and one of the steadiest hands in the ASEAN Basketball League belong to Jason Brickman.
Jason Brickman will go to the free throw line. His first trip at the stripe for tonight. And so far, 7 points and, well, very characteristic, 11 assists. He's back at it again. First one is good.
In that season where they reached the finals with the Mono Vampire, Brickman averaged almost a double digit in assists the entire season.
Last 8 seconds. Marcus Elliott on to June Lim. He likes that spot. A miss, and that's gonna do it, folks. Congratulations, Pilipinas. The very first home game and the very first home win of the season for Alab Pilipinas in spectacular fashion. Come from behind once again, down by 9, entering the 4th and final frame. They score a total of 40 points in the 4th quarter. Wow, what a game.
What an explosion in that 4th quarter. And again, similar to their previous game against the Wolf Warriors, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas bringing what it takes in that 4th quarter. And in the end game, of course, led by Khalif Wyatt's 28 big points, had 20 in the 4th quarter alone.
All right, so there you go. 90-83, our final score. We'll take a break first. When we come back, we'll wrap things up for Singapore versus Alab Pilipinas. Once again, we congratulate San Miguel Alab Pilipinas for their 2nd straight victory against Singapore, 90-83. Now we go to our courtside reporter, Sydney Crespo, as she is with our best player of the ball game.
Yes, Mix and Marco, I'm with the best player of the game tonight. We have Khalif Wyatt from Alab Pilipinas. First of all, Khalif, congratulations. What an amazing and exciting first home game for you. You delivered 28 big points, but let me just ask, what changed in the 4th quarter that helped you guys to have better energy on the floor and just to ultimately secure the win tonight?
I think in the 4th quarter, we got some big stops. We strung together stops. And we were able to play faster and get some good looks. It started with rebounds. We did a poor job, I think, today on defensive rebounding. But I think in that 4th quarter we did a little bit better job. And because we were getting rebounds, we were able to get out and transition and get some easy buckets.
All right, now Khalil, you have another upcoming home game on Tuesday. That's against Mono Vampire. Would you like to invite the Alab fans?
Yep. You know, today we had great support. I want to tell all of Alab fans to come out to support us on Tuesday versus Mono. We're going to need your energy. We're going to need you out there, and we're going to go out there and play hard for you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Khalil. Khalif, once again, congratulations to you. That's our best player of the game. Back to you, Mix and Marco.
Thank you, Sydney. You know, you got to love the answer of Khalif Wyatt as Sydney asked what changed in the 4th quarter. Well, he should have answered, well, he made his 3-point shots. That's the entire change. By the way, the next game of Alab Pilipinas will be on Tuesday. That will be against a very tough Mono Vampire Basketball Club at the Phil Oil Flying V Center, 4 p.m. You're going to be with Andre Felix alongside Mikey Reyes and company. And of course, we thank everyone for joining us in this match. What a win for Alab Pilipinas, Marco.
Well, it just shows you the potential of this San Miguel Alab Pilipinas squad. After going down 35 points against Mono Vampires, securing an overtime win against the Macau Wolf Warriors. Again, a convincing victory here, especially in the 4th quarter. against the Singapore Slingers. So the depth of this team for Coach Jimmy Alapag is right there. Just a matter of getting that chemistry going so that they can play an entire 40 minutes of solid basketball.
There you go. We thank everyone for joining us tonight. Sa ngalan ni Direk Abet Ramos, our production head, Mr. Leds Kainhinan, Marco Benitez, Sidney Crespo, and the rest of our family from ABS-CBN Sports and Virtual Playground. My name is Mix Gomez saying thank you. Mabuhay ang bawat atletang Pilipino. This has been your ASEAN Basketball League in its rise to greatness.
Back-to-back triples for Mono Vampire.
Only 7 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in! CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lai, oh,